Types of conscience. What is conscience? It is the practical judgment of reason deciding upon an individual act as good and to be followed or as evil and therefore, to be avoided. Conscience, usually informed by acculturation and instruction, is thus generally understood to give intuitively authoritative judgments regarding the moral quality of single actions. For others, conscience is regarded as the voice of God and therefore a completely reliable guide of conduct. Among the Hindus it is considered the invisible God who dwells within us. 8 types of conscience. Antecedent conscience. The judgment of a person prior doing an action. Antecedent conscience either commands or forbids, counsels or permits the performance of an act. Consequent conscience. The judgment of a person after an act is done. In this conscience the mind judgment on the morality of an action which is already performed. The conscience either approves what has been done, giving peace to the mind and spiritual joy, or disapproves of what was done, thus causing remorse and a sense of guilt. True conscience. A conscience which judges things truly as they are. When the conscience is true, a person's subjective judgment corresponds to the objective fact that a particular human act is morally good or morally wrong. Erroneous conscience. This is also called false conscience. This consciousness denotes people's inability to recognize inequality, oppression, and exploitation in a capitalist society because of the prevalence within it of views that naturalize and legitimize the existence of social classes. Certain conscience. This is subjective certainty of the legality of particular actions to be done or to be omitted. It is the judgment without the fear of being wrong about the virtue or immorality of the activity done by a person. An example of this is when a girl student who accidentally got pregnant by her boyfriend, wanting to abort the baby but it is against her conscience and against the law. This type of conscience is in congruence with the moral law. Doubtful conscience. It happens when a person is not certain about a moral judgment. It is a postponement of judgment on the moral goodness or evil of an activity because the mind cannot discern clearly whether it is good or bad. For instance, Marina decides to cheat on her exams because she wasn't able to review or try her best to take the exam without cheating even if she failed. With this type of conscience, a person cannot decide whether an act is right or wrong because of the situation. Scrupulous conscience. A person who sees wrong where there is none. For instance, John went to the supermarket and paid 1,000 pesos to the cashier for a 850 pesos worth of purchased grocery supplies. However, the store is near to close, the cashier is in a hurry, instead of 150 pesos change, she erroneously gave 200 pesos. Now John is in dilemma whether to tell the cashier and bring back the 50 pesos or to keep it instead. In the end, John decided to give back the 50 pesos excess in his change because of his scrupulous conscience. Lax conscience. It is the opposite of scrupulous conscience. It refers to the inconsistency of moral principles of a person wherein this person tries to conceal his malicious or immoral objective through feigning goodness. For instance, a famous person asking donations to the public to help victims of a calamity but actually keeping most of the donations for himself. This person immorality is masked by moral actions.